When I tell you that account hit $59,000 negative, I didn't know what to do. I had 4 stores open. I had 2 food trucks. I had a store inside Walmart at the time, and all I could do was work on my cash. I could anything that anybody swipe a credit card, that thing going to I might as well throw that in the trash can.
I was in the hospitality industry, and I would consider, obviously, it's not necessarily a restaurant, but food and beverage, all similar in an industry standpoint. And that industry is no joke. Like, that's a tough industry. Margins are very slim. So every mistake is very costly. That's why, for me, it's always just interesting to know, like, how did the business knowledge come about? So it seemed like there's some wins paired with some losses that have brought together some of these ideas in terms of like, okay, here's how to do this, here's how to not do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, I had a lot of L's, but I had a lot of wins too, right? So when we first opened up on campus in the truck, my first couple of weeks there, we was averaging $4,000-$5,000 a day. We was clearing easy $40,000-$50,000 weeks selling smoothies. But at the same time, I didn't know money. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with this much money. I didn't know nobody that made that much money, And so as the course went on, again, you kind of get stagnant, you kind of get stale, you kind of get, it's the routine. Like, I'm gonna make it back. The song blow the check and get it right back. You know what I mean? Like, that type of deal. So that's the mentality that I had at the time. Was like, oh, I'm good. And then I didn't go to the NFL, so I was doing things that the guys in the league was doing. Right, I got a whole bunch of expensive watches and stuff like that I was buying that had no real value, to me at the time, but it made me feel good, And so during that course of that time, I used to just like, I was doing so much, and I was opening up stores left and right. I was buying everything cash. I didn't build my credit. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just knew cash was king, and I was making a lot of it, right? And that cash was tied to my identity. So when I look at my bank account every morning, I look at my account, it made me feel good, right? It's like, oh, wait, what? Like, you doing your thing, right? But it was only until when I lost everything, right? I got audited 3 times by the state of Alabama, and they took everything from me. And I looked at my account one time, that thing said $59,000 negative. And that hurt, right? That hurt. And I sent you that too, Nicky. Like, when I tell you that account hit $59,000 negative, I didn't know what to do. I had 4 stores open. I had 2 food trucks. I had a store inside Walmart at the time, and all I could do was work on my cash. I could anything that anybody swipe a credit card, that thing going to I might as well throw that in the trash can, right? So it took me 3 months to get down to zero, and then so finally I just started shutting down my stores one by one. I got all my stuff, packed all my stuff up, and we moved to Atlanta, right? And so that's when I think that's when we first met, Nicky, when he had that basketball tournament.
Yep.
Right? When he had he and Jalen did that basketball tournament. So this is I don't think I ever told the story like live or anything. When I reached out to Jalen about the basketball tournament to feed the campers, I was dead broke, right? I was so fresh to Georgia, I had to go back to Alabama to get my food truck to do that event, right? On top of that, I had to borrow, I think I borrowed $220 to buy product to give it away to the campers, you know what I'm saying, at the event. So what I did was I was like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to come through. I just want the opportunity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feed all the campers, right? Because he had hit me up, was like, bro, how much you going to charge? I'm like, no, we good. I'm going to do this on me. I'll make my money on the parents, right? So I make my money on the parents. I feed all the campers for free. So it was like 200 some campers there. I fed them all for free or whatnot. But I had to borrow money 2 days in a row to go buy product to give it away for free, right? But what I always understood was, one is relationships destroy rules, right? Relationships destroy rules. The other thing is the opportunity is never the opportunity, right? So that opportunity, the opportunity is never the opportunity. So that opportunity to work with them was not the actual opportunity, right? But I always wanted to build value and bring value to anywhere that I can and build real, true, genuine relationships, right? So now, E, we got a relationship. C, we got like these relationships that, are real. They're not just, on IG or just, what I'm saying, something like that. So that was one of the things that I did in that space. And then what ended up happening from that was, again, E big time, right? Everybody know E. E did the video like, hey, bro, like, let me post the video up. We got to show him some love some type of way, right? You know what I mean? So he did the little video in front of the truck, told everybody, hey, if you need a smoothie truck in Atlanta, pull up on him, right? And he posted it up. Well, about 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. Hey, we was looking for a smoothie truck. We seen ET was talking about a smoothie truck. We wanted to see if he was available for this day. I'm like, all right, cool. Who is this? This is Tyler Perry Studio. So the very first contact that I got in the big time space where I could really start making some money or making some traction in Atlanta was because I was willing to give away 400 smoothies to some campers to an event that I already wanted to build a relationship with people from anyway, right? So back to what I was saying before, the opportunity is never the opportunity, right? Because I remember one time he was talking about somebody trying to charge him double for something because of who he was. You know what I mean? But it was like, no, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this to the best of my ability. I'm gonna give you this top quality service as if you paid me double, right? But I'm gonna do this jump for free. I'm gonna show you what I do. And so from there, I always understood that the opportunity is never the opportunity.